Hope everyone can hear this okay. What is up, guys? YouTube, Gravity Gaming World here for another Marvel Future Fight video. No, it's not dead. I did not quit this game. I've just been doing this game more or less in silent because, like I said before, I don't want to show this game unless something like significant, unless I do something significant or something significant happens. And well, this game went through 2 updates. I didn't bother with the first update because I was like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. And it didn't exactly bother me anyway. And like at the same time, I was actually building up characters to be like, oh, well, I got this, like, let me get this character ready to go and show off. Anyway, new stuff has appeared. Version 3.0, if you already can't tell, they changed the user interface and now everything looks all square. It's all shiny and square with a bit of a nicer background going. New characters have came out. Of course, new characters always come out. Anyway, that's the 3 new characters been added. Actually, there's a couple more that have been added, but like I said, I'm kind of like, whatever. Meh. Like, this is pretty much in represent to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 coming out soon in theaters in the US. Yes. First off, 3 new characters. Mantis, Agent Venom, and Whiplash. Mantis being the new character in the Guardians of the Galaxy series. Agent Venom, which actually surprised me a lot because I didn't think that was going to get added. And Whiplash coming from Iron Man. Then we got a ton of new uniforms, of course, for our favorite Guardians of the Galaxy, except for Drax, who gets nothing. Poor Drax. He actually could use a new uniform, but you know. And what's his face didn't get a new uniform despite being in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And for whatever reason, we gave Sharon Rogers, of all people, a new uniform. Of all the characters that got a new uniform, she's the one that She's the one that did not need a new one. I'll show you why in a minute. Anyway, Mantis. Okay, is pretty much your Blast character. But they decided to go along with having more characters that support support your entire team. Because, well, first off, her leader skill is pretty meh. I mean, a lot of characters have this decreasing debuff duration by 24%. I mean, if you're running Odin at this point, then this means nothing because Odin just gives the finger to anybody that uses debuffs. The next one is a self passive. When her HP drops below 90%, she recovers HP by 5% for 3 seconds. And it has a cooldown time of 7 seconds, so she can essentially survive. If you give it the proper build, she can survive a lot of things. However, her physical and energy defense is heavily lacking as opposed to energy attack. So she can be she does more or less touch that glass cannon status. Tier 2 passive. Applying to all allies, increases crit damage by 20% and gives ignore defense by 15%. Has a little bit of Werewolf, has a little bit of Doctor Strange going for her with her tier 2, which is actually a good thing because although the problem is that it's not a guaranteed bonus. So, and there is a difference between guaranteed and just a normal bonus and a guaranteed bonus. You won't really see the guaranteed bonus applied to your actual stat table, but it is there. Whereas this, it actually applies to the stat table and there's a certain percentage where it actually caps. At least that's what I've been told anyway. First skill, energy damage. Second skill, more energy damage. Third one, a skill to apply to all allies. Increases dodge rate by 5%. Maybe, I guess if you throw on a team of speed type characters that have incredible dodge rate percentages from the get-go. Her fourth one, more energy damage. And her fifth one, energy damage. That also increases all your allies' critical rate by 5%. And it hits enemies with fear. So essentially I would say she's the blast form of Werewolf, because Werewolf is also packing a passive that he can, that once it, like, aside from his tier 2 that applies to all allies on the team, he also has his fifth skill, which will give you a critical rate buff. Will give you a critical rate buff for quite a bit of time. Anyway, just to show off her skills, this is kind of going to be a long video. I'm going to try not to make it as long because a lot of the characters aren't exactly as interesting, even with the new uniforms. I'm going to try and make this as fast as possible. Anyway, let's have a look at her skills. First skill. Boom. Well, first I should look at her. Let's look at her normal attacks. From far away, she comes in with that heel, and she has and she's doing all these. I don't know. I want to say judo. It's not judo. I want to say judo moves, but she just go blah. Which I guess, considering she's a blast type character, that could be problematic, because it only targets one. It only hits one character, one enemy. First skill, boom. It's a quick boom as well. I know that startup. Second one, reminds me a lot of Black Widow, which I've been playing a lot of Black Widow in the past month or so. Kicks the enemy up, and then shoots him on the way down. Third skill, passive. Doesn't do anything to enemies nearby. Sounds like it does, but it doesn't do anything to enemies nearby. Here's the passive. Of course, I already mentioned it. Increases her dodge rate by 5%. Not bad, not good. And this one, oh wow! I love the animation. Watch it again. Skill number 4. She just flips and then goes all Zimnus style. And then just blasts them. Not only that, if she's far away, she'll flip in and do it. But if she's at close range, she'll do it without that startup going. And last skill is, you gotta have that slow motion effect, and boom. Add fear status to people around her, and increase the critical rate for a couple seconds. It's not exactly great for just using this to tag out, unless you're dealing with a huge mob and you just want to get her out of there. You're dealing with a huge mob, maybe during a boss fight or during alliance battle. Just pop this off and then quickly tag out. Because now you just added fear status for like 3 seconds to everybody that got hit by it. So they'll be busy running away while you can regroup. Not to mention her other passive will be kicking in, and you can just sit here and heal. Which I didn't know. Speaking of that, I didn't know that there was a passive with VIPs as you grow later in levels. There's one where by tagging out, you'll recover a certain amount of HP depending on your VIP level. And I went, what? So it just makes it even more worth it to. It makes it even more worth it to actually put money into this game if you feel like it. Which for me, I'm like, I know I want to put money into this game, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh man, you guys want so much from me. Ooh. Anyway, next character. I'm skipping around. I'm skipping Agent Venom because Agent Venom is my favorite out of all 3 new characters, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Anyway, Whiplash from Iron Man 2. Remember that electric whip guy? And I honestly can't believe they used this guy. But while he's a blast type, he uses physical type. He has physical type damage, and his actual stats are pretty. Okay. Overall, okay. Anyway, leader passive. Decreases skill cooldown by 24%. Pretty much Rocket Raccoon's passive has the same thing, but we can always use skill cooldown because I'd rather, in a lot of cases, I'd rather be using skills rather than doing normal attacks. First main passive increases 80% damage. Increases damage dealt by 80% from skills to machine type characters. Another machine killer. I'm not 100% too happy about that because there's not too many characters that are exactly registered as machines. There's not too many characters that register as machines in this game, especially ones that get used. But yeah, you can essentially kill Ultron. This is kind of like an Ultron killer and a couple other guys. Anyway, tier 2 passive. Another self buff. Increases lightning damage by 30%. Ignore dodge by 20. Skill damage by 15 and bonus damage by 30. That's lovely, but here's why it ends up being lovely. First one attack, first one whip attack. Second one, a binding whip attack. Third one, this skill. When he hits with it, stuns them for a second. Also, penetrates energy immunity, physical immunity, all damage immunity, and invincible effect for a second, while adding lightning damage. It's like a total. Your whip user has just pretty much. The only thing this skill is lacking is the ability to get through super armor. If it could go through super armor, oh my god, Whiplash would be instant god tier. But he is able to, with this, he's already able to anti a lot. He's already can anti a lot of characters that throw up this kind of BS, such as Iron Fist. Like Iron Fist and a couple other characters that love to throw up those immunities and be like, "Oh, I'm immune to all your stuff." Like, no. And then you have this, which has 5% ignored defense for 15 seconds. It applies to himself. And increases lightning damage. Well, thanks to tier 2, it will help increase his damage as well. And then you have this one, another binding attack that does a ton of damage. Let's see, his team bonuses. He doesn't have. This is another thing he's lacking. Excuse me. Another thing he's lacking is he doesn't really have team bonuses. He just has team bonuses with the Iron Man and War Machine and and Black Widow. That's it. That is it. But he'll pretty much have a full team buff going by having Iron Man and War Machine tag along. Anyway, let's show off how the skills look. They to me, honestly, they're not exactly impressive, but I mean, it is what it is, and you really just want to go for usability. Normal attacks. It's slow. It's slow. First attack. Drags he's able to drag the enemy close, or drag any enemy close to him, and push him out of the ways. Yeah, see, his normal attack isn't that great. Up close, same thing. Now, second skill, grabs anybody in range, and they're pretty much stunned. And then he pushes them away from him. So, the third skill, get over here, or I got you, and then just piercing all your supposed pathetic defenses. It's just electrifying you. Reminds me of those annoying robots in the Ninja Turtles arcade game. I forgot what those things were called. But you remember those annoying robots that would they would run around, and then they'll either shoot a laser at you, or they'll throw out that whip and just shock you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Self buff, which he can ignore defense for quite a bit of time. Does nothing to anybody up close. As for the fifth skill, his skills don't even do the epic slowdown. It's just See? Yeah, see, it's kind of To be honest, it's kind of You go he's definitely meant for one-on-one. He can probably change how timeline battles flow with his character. Anyway, this is the character that I liked, Agent Venom. Surprisingly, Agent Venom, he can team up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. He can team up with Gamora and can't think of his name. He can team up with Gamora and Star-Lord. He can team up with Rocket Raccoon and Groot. Teams up with Red Hulk and Elektra. Black Widow and Hawkeye. He can team up with all these characters. Anyway, look at his stats. 7,000 physical attack normally. Oh, and I forgot to mention this here. They also with this update, they included a little character usage tips, which this one says, after advancing to Tier 2, the cooldown duration of Venom Frenzy becomes identical. Cooldown and duration of Venom Frenzy becomes identical, making it possible to use the buff effects continuously. Anyway, first leader passive increases physical attack by 30%. Not complaining about that. It does hurt in certain ways when it comes to certain characters. When it comes to certain character team ups, if you want to use this guy as a leader. like teaming him with Rocket Raccoon and Groot. That means Rocket Raccoon doesn't exactly get the use of this buff too much. Only on 2 skills for in his case. Well, 1 or 2 skills depending on which uniform you're going with. Leader, like first passive. 30% chance of attacking, recovers HP by 15%, increases all attacks by 12%, all speeds by 12%, and your critical rate by 12% for 10 seconds. With a cooldown time of 10 seconds. And then tier 2 increases critical damage by 15%, increases guaranteed critical rate by 30%. Oh god, I love that already. And it enhances the skill of Venom Frenzy, which is why I did mention doing that, like having that with his buff. First skill, first skill, physical damage. Second skill, more physical damage. Third skill, like a guard move. A guard move that does damage. I love that already. Fourth move, more physical damage, and the fifth move stuns enemies for 2 seconds, gives them invincibility for 5 seconds, and does physical damage. And I'll tell you right now, I did look at this skill before. It is crazy looking. Anyway, let's just show you how it looks. This is why I ended up picking this character, because I'll tell you what happened in a minute that also came along with this update. And if you're not playing this game, you should be playing this game now. Just take advantage of the stuff that came out. Normal attacks. So you got that at close. Like he has a 3-hit punch at close range. At long range, he'll come in with this shoulder tackle. So, and it's like, and his skills, he's able to recover HP while he's attacking. First skill. Your basic Scorpion, get over here. Get over here. And it pulls in anybody that happens to be stupid enough to get in range. Second skill. Dude, that claw just... and then turns the second hand into a blade. Third skill. Jumps in, gives himself a guard. Draws in anybody. While giving himself, gives himself a shield. I'm guessing that shield will reflect damage. I haven't exactly tested it out in actual combat yet. Fourth skill. Jumps in the air and shoots all the fireballs. You gotta love that. And I have to reset this just to show off the fifth skill. Fifth skill. Dude, this skill. He just goes everywhere, and there's nothing you can do to stop him. There is nothing you can do to stop him on this skill. And if that is the real cooldown of this skill of just 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds, then this skill is spammable. This is your get out of jail. This is a get out of jail free card. Of all things. This is why I went with Agent Venom. So what happened along with this update is that the game also is celebrating an anniversary. And basically, like all mobile games, when they do like an anniversary or whatnot, they love to give away free stuff. And this game's free stuff, they decided to give away rank advancement tickets. So you could basically take any 1-star character in your roster and put them straight up to 6 stars. Now, mastery is a whole nother question, but hey, you just saved yourself a ton of effort. You saved yourself a ton of effort in terms of having to grind for the character. Because that's a ton of biometrics that you don't have to farm for. But sadly, in terms of Agent Venom, he's one of those characters you have to actually pay for. You need to get the daily 20 biometrics in order to pick up Agent Venom. Just like Kid Kaiju and a couple other characters, you cannot get Agent Venom unless you get the daily 20. Unless you purchase the daily 20, which I originally purchased the daily 20 so I could get my hands on some Medusa biometrics, which people are calling me stupid for now. But you know what? I don't care. I got it. Anyway, new uniforms. Oh boy, Rocket Raccoon got a 3rd uniform, and thank God he's got updates. Thank God he got updated. Anyway, just look at him. Like, he looks like a tired old man. Like, he's a tired father, and he's a tired father for reasons. Like, he has to take care of a new child named Groot. Would you look this tired? Would you not look this tired? If that was you. But now he also lives up to his name of being Rocket Raccoon, where he now has a jetpack, and he actually makes use of this jetpack. Now, with this uniform, Groot's special delivery becomes more powerful and will get HP regained due to the uniform's skill effects. Which, that's what the uniform ends up doing. And it's better to show the uniform as... Now, see, this one, all it did was change the skill of covering fire, and it affected the skill of mines. I wish I didn't put so much effort into this, because now I have these stat bonuses when I ranked up the uniform. And I really need to put it towards this uniform, which is clearly the better one. He has 4 change skills, and his uniform bonus, 20% chance when attacking, recovers 5% of his max HP, which is very useful in his case. While it has a cooldown time of 15 seconds, it works. It just works for him. Like, to show off his skills, because his skills have changed quite a bit compared to his older ones. They still more or less look the same, but no, they have changed. So his first skill is more of a machine gun. Oh, wait, I should. So his normal attack is like an assault rifle. His first skill is the same as it always been. And like it fires a lot faster. Second skill, it's gone back. Instead of the missiles that I've been used to on his all different uniform, it's gone back to lasers. His third skill, he tosses out 1 mine. I'm more used to having it being 5 all scattered around, but having this giant mine here, this actually helps, and it's been improved to where it now does. It's hard to actually hit enemies with it because of how the skill preview is set up. See? But basically, instead of it only decreasing an enemy's defense by 500, now it decreases the enemy's defense by 1,000 points. Thank you, God. Fourth skill. He flies around and shoots the gun. Instead of just staying on the ground and blowing himself back, he now flies around and does this. And when he's up close doing skill 2, he can still does the jump back, as well as the jump back during skill 3. So he flies around. It goes. which helps out a lot in terms of his defense. I'm not entirely sure if it's completely invincible during the attack, but it's a lot better than the older skills where he pretty much had no invincibility. His last skill, he goes trigger happy, and Groot comes out and does the thing from the movie or the movie trailer, carrying a bomb just to toss it in there. And also, because the uniform skill can randomly trigger, Groot, like, you'll see Baby Groot come out and leave a little flower thing behind. Which it lasts for a couple of seconds, and he'll recover HP as long as he's in it. I'm debatable about that skill because I do like his older 5th skill where he jumps on Groot and basically shoots everybody around him in the vicinity while recovering HP. So it's very hard to determine whether or not I like this skill or not. Anyway, it's great because it works out for him. He needed these buffs. I mean, he's like, dude, like, he's a freaking dad at this point. He needs these buffs. He's got a son to take care of. Also, new uniform. Well, tell you already, Star-Lord's new uniform, it's just basically Star-Lord without the helmet. I mean, it's him in the movie. That's how he looks in the movie. But his skills are not that great, and I really don't want to show them off. They're not, like, to be honest, they haven't exactly changed. To be honest, they haven't exactly changed from, his skills haven't exactly changed. I'll say that much. Other one, Gamora has a new uniform. Instead of the bleed damage skill effect, it just gives her 30% ignore defense, which that's also good. But then you have this, which increases bleed effect damage, and this just looks so much better. But no skill changes. Baby Groot. It's so cute. Just look at it. Just look at this. Like, what? So, Groot in his uniform changed types again. Originally, he was a combat type. He was a combat type originally. Then, with the Secret Wars, he became Thor, and I still actually like this uniform. I still like this uniform because 100% being immune to lightning damage means you can more or less give the finger to Thor and give the finger to the other Thor, Jane Foster. You can more or less give the finger to them, and you have pretty good skill effects. So now they decided, you know what? Let's throw in Baby Groot, and now he is a speed type. And all his skills have changed. All of them. Except for his passive. His passives are still the same where he recovers HP. But now he has increases recovery rate by 15% and increases dodge rate by 7%. His skills are lovable, to be honest. I can't knock it. I can't hate it. Dude, look at him. Just look at this guy. So from far away, his normal attacks, he jumps in, and then his normal attacks are just punching the enemy relentlessly. Skill 1. He runs under and then just shoots out his roots. Shoots out his roots very fast. Very useful skill since he's up in the air and can't really be touched by too many things. Second skill, but hey, he steps on him. Steps on him like a giant. Third skill, leaves little flower beds behind. When you touch them, when you touch them, or walk over them, you recover HP. So it's a lot different than just creating a healing field. Fourth skill, this honestly I have to say is pretty awesome. And Whiplash should have had this kind of skill. See, look at this. Just hitting everybody in the vicinity. And then his fifth skill, jumps around leaving more healing fields while Rocket is flying around shooting like crazy, like he always does, to everybody. Just look at this. It's like, Dad, I'm gonna go play, and then you have all these bullies. Daddy, they're picking on me. What? And then he can just keep shooting. So this is a uniform you can go for if you want. All I have to say to this costume is, where's our group or baby group platformer? Where's our baby group platforming game? Where is it? I want to get this uniform, but I don't have the crystals. I've been trying to save up crystals, but at the same time, I have not been able to do so very well because I've been farming a lot of other stuff. Anyway, another new uniform. Sharon Rogers got one. Why? You gave a already OP character a new uniform. So she basically ditched the shield and got the energy shield, which doesn't really get done too often in the Marvel series. I think I've seen it one other time in one of the Marvel movies with like the kids. And now she looks like an anime character. She reminds me of that anime called Cross Ange. I don't know if I pronounced it right. Or you could say she's got that Zero Suit Samus look down. But why did you give her a uniform? Anyway, all her skills have changed. Her uniform bonus, ignore target's dodge rate by 20%. And she still has the same passives as she's had before. So let's just stack all that with this. Anyway, to show you her uniforms, she's no longer doing the rush in and stab you with her spear, with her lance / spear thing. See, all her passives are still here. Increases damage to super villains, super armor, and all defenses increase. Decreases physical damage received, decreases energy damage received, increases skill damage, and bonus damage. She still has the tier 2 passives if you brought her up to tier 2. Anyway, to show her normal skills, she's now shooting you. Pew, pew. And she can jump to the side and shoot. She's turned into a true blast type. First skill, throws the shield and just starts shooting. Whoa, pew, pew, pew. And the shield can go wherever the heck it wants, as you just obviously saw there. Second skill, just pulls out an energy blade in a anime style. Wah, wah, wah. And it's like she just killed, like, in the world of Gundam or any super robot anime, she's just killed like a ton of robots in a couple of slashes. Third skill, puts up this huge defense, and now it does the same thing as her other one, where she just sits there and guards and then stabs you, but it lasts for a lot longer, and she just blasts you with a huge beam, which, just like her normal skill, she accumulates damage. She becomes immune to damage, and she accumulates the damage to be shot back at you And so now you can't just sit far away and be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna shoot you from far away. You can't stab me from over there. Now she can. Reset this. Fourth skill. Waves the sword around, jumps into the air, and just blasts everything. Like, you poor unfortunate soul, should you be alive after that. Restart skill preview again. Fifth skill. Just basically pulls them into pulls everybody into a black hole. Trying to see what it. I can't read what the skill does because it doesn't last that long. But she pulls everybody into a black hole and then just finishes them. You just gave an OP. You just made an OP character even more OP. And yes, this is a complaint because she didn't need the uniform. Now she's got it, and now she's even more OP than what she was in the past. Stuns all enemies. Penetrates super armor. And does even more energy damage. This is definitely a uniform to go for if you run Sharon Rogers, which I honestly don't see why you're not running Sharon Rogers unless you're like me. And I only gave in. I'm like, hey, I have Sharon Rogers. Are you happy now? But for me, if you're using Sharon Rogers and you just main her, here you go. You got a new uniform to make her even more OP than ever. So that's pretty much all the new stuff. There's been a bunch of other stuff. That's new as well. Say, why didn't you give Drax a new uniform? He just has this Cloud Strike-esque outfit. He just got a Cloud Strike-esque outfit going for him. Why didn't you give him one? I guess because he doesn't change his look in the movie. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much the new character previews. What's also changed is that they added a new mode. Because Battle World is now going on. They have added a new mode called Alliance Conquest. Which, Alliance Conquest, I still have to wait. I can't tell you how it works. Maybe I'll do another video on it just to show how that works, because I can't do Alliance Conquest right now. Not for another 15 hours, 7 minutes. So tomorrow morning. World Boss Invasion hasn't changed. Lions Tournament is still the same. I don't even know if the team I cheered for won. Also, what they added, World Boss Ultimate Mode. Just because everybody except for me has been able to whoop on the world bosses, they've added Ultimate Mode. And this is something I did want to talk about that pissed me off. But basically, they made them much harder. And now, if you actually thought that you were gonna just sit there and you're gonna run Doctor Strange, screw your Doctor Strange, because now this world boss resists your time freezing. And then you have phase 2. Like I say, it goes through multiple phases, kind of like Shadowland. Kind of like Shadowland does. But you get good clear rewards, which I could use. And I'll explain that in a different video. Anyway, I can tell you right now, if I try World Boss Ultimate Mode, which I might just try just to show you guys, how fast I can get my butt kicked. But that's what's been added to the game. That's everything. That's everything that's happened for this game. I am Brad Reed of Gaming Mole. I'm signing off. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time for more Marvel Future Fight.